Hello, Auntie Dr. Khoza. I always like to ask this question because I think you and I talk a lot, but I think for the benefit, because there's a lot of women here, I'll ask it again. I see that in many boards and on many executive level positions and people in corporate, that there are very few women represented in those boards. There are very few women that are being uplifted to take up their space there. I'm actually working on a study around that, but I want to know from you, what is it that's holding women back from taking their place in those kind of listed entities, boards, where they can make high impact? Because I think everybody knows here that there are a lot of women that are leading their own families, single parent families. Anyone who can run a family can run a company. Because you are bringing in income, you come in, you manage a budget, right? And then you know, those very same women also raise men that then go on to boards. So why is it that the women are not taking up their place in your view, and what can we do in order to facilitate that?
Yeah, as I said, declaration of interest, Gateko is my niece. So she's asking Auntie a very difficult question. But I must say that I think we all agree that we come from a patriarchal society, isn't it?
Yes.
So, and you know, those challenges that we're facing as society in terms of men still being well represented in boards and in positions of power, it will take time to balance that. I think the biggest challenge, Kateko, is the fact that, you know, in the past, and I'm talking about during my time, and I think things will change because you young people are starting to push to ensure that you get there. But during our days, you know, because of the requirements of a woman having to be a mother, and to be a wife, and not having the opportunity to go and work, actually limited our opportunities. Because if you look at my people's age, those are very limited. But young people like yourselves and many others are starting to push to make sure that they are represented in positions of leadership, whether at executive or management level. And I must say I'm very proud with the work that is also done by some of the associations, the women's associations in South Africa, to make sure that women are properly represented. But the one thing that I want to say to, and I say it to women, especially young people, is to say, ask to be appointed. Because if you say you just wish and you send your CV, nobody will look at your CV. People like us who are sitting in boards approach us and say, I want to be mentored. I want to come and sit in a board even if you don't pay me. I want to learn what is happening at board level. You'll be given the opportunity to sit in those boards. And later on, we'll feel pity to say this person must be remunerated. But later on, then you will feel more pity to say, come and be trained. Because sitting in boards, you have fiduciary responsibilities.
Yes.
It is huge. You need to know what you're doing. You need to be prepared. And a number of other women that have failed, especially women of my age, is not being prepared to go and sit in boards. You cannot be a front. You cannot be appointed in a board just because you're a woman or just because you're a black woman. You have to have what it takes to sit there. And when you are there, you need to make a difference. You need to make sure that you appoint other women. The same way when I got into becoming a CEO, I made sure that I appoint women. The first time I appointed a CFO who was a woman, everybody was like, hey, you know. So, and I thought, you know, if you don't do that as a woman to bring other young women to leadership positions, it will never happen. So you have to push others. You need to make sure that you identify young people that you can mentor, bring them up, give them the opportunity, but also coach them to say, when you get there, you're not going to keep quiet. You must talk, you must read your pack, you must ask difficult questions, you must show that you've got what it takes to be there. Then you will stay. Because a number of them, they get appointed and then they're chucked off because of not doing what they're supposed to do. Or you said yes to a position when you know you don't have the skills to be able to, or to even to improve yourself to get to that level where you can make a proper contribution.
Yes.